Welcome to Tiqtative Podcast,
where you share your stories and experience.
Alright, so here we will become your host. With me, Faris.
I am Kiara.
and I am Rifat. We have Kak Indira, and our topic for today is MUN Talks.
Yay! Before we start, we want to have a small introduction of Kak Indira. Kak Indira was an alumni from MTS Istiqlal. Can you introduce yourself properly, like what activities you do now, or maybe your full name?
Hi everyone, my name is Indira Zahida. I am an alumni of MTS Istiqlal Jakarta. I am now currently in college studying fiscal administration at 4th semester. So my activities right now is I'm active in competitions such as tax competitions and also in MUN.
Alright, that is amazing. So I have a question to ask too. Like, what is your experience when you're being the representative and the delegate for MUN in Paris in 2024?
Thank you. So as a disclaimer, in 2024 I was one of Indonesia's delegates, specifically for Universitas Indonesia, as a delegation to the Paris International Model United Nations. I represented my university and I was in the council ECOSOC. It is an economic and social council, and I was representing the country Germany, and we were talking about private sectors and its responsibility for producing sustainable commodities. So yeah, that's my experience. Is there anything you guys want to know about what was in the competition?
Sure. So what was in the competition?
So in MUN itself, it's actually very template based. So in MUN, in every MUN, but specifically for what I experienced in PMUN, Paris International MUN is shortened with PMUN. So basically, at PMUN, being a delegate means that you're representing a country. So it's like debate. Some people kind of mixed it up. Is MUNing the same as debate? So it's kind of different. It is kind of the same because you deliver your opinions and then you debate something, but you're not exactly representing your own thoughts. You're representing the stance of your country. So yeah,
That's interesting. So one last question from me. What improved after MUN? What changed you?
okay. So actually, let me tell you, there are 4 basic skills in MUN. First is speech, research, negotiating, and drafting. Drafting is like policy making. So basically, the reason why I joined MUN is because in college there's this thing called OSFAK or OSJUR. It's like MOS if it's in school. MOS.
MOS.
So I remember that we had this like public speaking agenda, and I found myself shaking in my legs. I thought I had enough skills to like do public speaking, but turns out I'm still shaky and nervous doing public speaking. That's when I found out, you know what, I should probably join something. So I found MUN was an interesting extracurricular in campus. So then what I did feel improved was actually my speech. So speech in regards to what improved is actually we have this thing called impromptu speech. Impromptu speech is something when you deliver a speech, but you don't exactly read a text.
Yes.
You go very spontaneous about it. You don't exactly need to read a text. So when you see MUN people, they don't exactly have a full narrative text. They have bullet points. So that's what's interesting.
The main topic, right?
Yeah, only the important bullet points of what you're about to deliver. So then you're not nervous anymore. So I felt that improved.
The main topic, and then you expanded.
Yes.
Exactly.
That is creative actually.
Yeah, very creative.
That is great.
It is actually very helpful, and it's actually much better than a full text narrative, because when you mess up from reading a text, sometimes you feel a little bit nervous, like, I messed up from my line. But when you put bullet points, you feel free to expand because there is no line.
Yeah, feel confidence.
Yes.
Confidence.
Increase
Be
your
yourself.
be yourself. Anything else from the others?
Well, I want to ask, what was your motivation to become the delegate in MUN?
So this is actually kind of funny. I didn't have a motivation. So actually, I hadn't known about MUN when I first got into college. All I know was that MUN This is a fun fact, guys. I thought MUN was a study club.
Oh, I
Not
see,
gonna
I
lie,
see.
not gonna lie, I thought the same. Not gonna lie, I
Right?
thought the
Right?
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just like its name, it's Model United Nations. So basically, you're presenting as a delegate representing a country, but while being diplomatic. So, my motivation at first joining MUN in the first place was because I was a science student going to a social major.
Oh, I understand.
So I was
mutation or
Yes.
mutation.
yeah, I switched lanes. I switched lanes. So I thought of going into MUN. It's a very policy-based extracurricular. So I would think that this extracurricular would help me gain awareness of policies going around because I needed that. But then since I go to Universitas Indonesia, I realized that there were several registrations for Paris International MUN. There were Singapore International MUN, and then there were also Harvard World and Harvard National MUN.
That is a lot of choices.
Yes, there were a lot of
Interesting
choices.
choices.
Pretty interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
Really good.
So when I first saw about the whole MUN circuit, it's actually an extracurricular focused for the major international relations. See, I'm not an international relations student, but I'm a fiscal student. But anyone can join MUN. But that MUN specifically is considered for international relations students.
Yeah, international relations.
Yeah.
So then I thought that MUN is just about talking about other countries and all of that. So literally, this is like a fun fact. Before I went into MUN, I thought that when there was Paris MUN, Singapore MUN, Harvard MUN, I thought it was just something for us to like pretend we're in Paris, pretend we're in Singapore. So I registered for it, just like registered a random delegation.
Yeah.
But turns out at the interview,
You
they
actually go
asked
there.
me,
Yeah.
they asked me, so we're gonna look for sponsors in this. Are you ready to pay for the cost if we don't get enough sponsors? And I'm like, we're going to Paris? Yeah, we're going to Paris. And I'm like, okay, sure. So then I ended up getting accepted into the delegation.
Wow.
And I was like, so we're literally going to Paris. And they were like,
I see.
yeah. And I was like, I did not know that.
So you end up.
Wait, so
Yeah.
all of this first start off from a curiosity.
Yes,
Curiosity.
I see. That is funny reason, but it is a cool reason actually.
it is.
It's very surprising.
Yeah, very surprising coming from a science.
Yeah.
Science student.
Oh, but don't get me wrong, there are so many science major students in MUN.
Oh.
I have a friend who's really, really great at MUN and she's in pharmacy.
Wow.
Another one in medicine.
I see.
I'm speechless.
Wow.
You'll meet so many major
The
students.
more you know, I guess. The more you know. The
Yeah.
more you know. The more you know.
All right. I want to ask something too. This is interesting for me. So, what is your preparation before the MUN Paris? Like the preparation, like what do you need for stuff and maybe
Yes.
like paper or something you need to sign or something?
So for the MUN itself, basically for every MUN, you prepare very much the same thing. There's this thing called research matrix and speech bank. So research matrix is basically a whole document of you compiling all your research into one. So you see you're representing a country, right? So you need to study about their stance. Like let's say you're in a council of SOCOM. And I was once in a council before PIMAN. We were talking about legal or illegal abortions. So you know how people debate about should abortion be legal or illegal?
Wow.
Yes.
And then people would give their own opinion.
Yes.
In MUN, you're not supposed to give your own opinion. You're supposed to give an opinion based on your country. So some countries legalize abortion. Some
yeah.
don't. Some only allow it to a certain extent. So you need to represent that. You can't just
yeah.
give your own opinion.
Yeah, so you cannot be
alright.
biased.
Yeah, you can't be biased. You have to
yourself,
represent
yeah.
your country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you are voicing out the voice of the peoples.
Yeah, the voice of the people.
yeah. That's unique. I love it.
Unique.
So other than the research matrix, there's also a speech bank. A speech bank is actually like a narrative text. So basically, but you can use, like I said, you could use bullet points. So research is basically much more messier, the documents, because you're like compiling all your research into one. But a speech bank is more structured. Sometimes, so in MUN, there's like a very repetitive procedure, there's this thing called General Speakers List. We shorten it with GSL. It's basically like a motion for talking about anything. But in MUNs, there are times where delegates would like raise a motion, like let's talk about the root cause of this problem, or let's talk about the possible solutions for it. So usually in a speech bank, you actually prepare what kind of motion that could possibly come in the conference. So, like, if you want, like, most likely MUNs would talk about root causes and then possible solutions and then, like, past actions of the country. So usually when people make a speech bank, they divide it into those parts. Like, if there's a possible motion talking about root cause, what do I want to talk about? So that's what basically a speech bank is.
Oh, so you predict what the topic is?
Yeah, I predict what the topic is going to be about, and I prepare what I'm going to talk about.
Complicated but kind of fun.
Yeah. So the difference with debate is like, you know how debate has like speaker 1, 2, 3?
Yes.
And then like they already have the beginner, the first person is talking about the introduction, and then the second person is talking about the message, and then like the third person is the summary of it. In MUN, there's no script.
Yeah.
Someone has to come up with it. So it's very impromptu. So
I see.
Impromptu centralized.
I see.
Alright.
That is very complicated, like Rifat says, and yes, it is. Seems fun. I love the idea of keeping the impromptu energy.
Yeah, impromptu energy. Okay, one final thing that kind of worries me. Do I have to learn other language than English, like for your representative, like Germany or Brazil or Portuguese, Mexican, Spanish, anything?
That's actually an interesting question. So the big answer is no, you don't have to.
Okay, thank God.
Since Model United Nations is basically you're pretending to be in a UN conference, most UN conferences use English.
Yeah.
But sometimes people do learn phrases, just phrases like good morning, this and that, for the country they're representing for a hook. So basically, if you learn more about speeches in MUN, people like to use hooks.
To the attention.
Like let's say, like this is gonna sound a little bit cringy, but like let's say you were representing Mexico or Spain, and then you have to speak Spanish, right? And then, like you could go, "Hola, delegates. Let me tell you about my opinion about this," like that. So sometimes it's just a hook, and sometimes hooks aren't just about like saying the language of the country you're representing. You can also use very much like rhymes. I have one friend who loves to use rhymes. Like one rhyme she always says over and over again is like, delegate of Germany likes boba tea. Some people like bubble tea, but I love unity. So it's just like a fun rhyme to like uplift the spirit.
I see. That is amazing.
Alright, that is a very amazing experience. Thank you so much for sharing your stories and suggestions. That is all from us, the Tiqtative podcast. See you on the next episode. Bye!
Bye.